NFL and COVID-19. I've been talking about the NBA and COVID basically since the beginning of this pandemic. But I haven't touched upon the NFL and COVID. I haven't touched upon them basically at all. I just say I basically have been defending them, saying that the NFL is in the right place and proper position to figure everything out because they have guinea pigs in the MLB and the NBA. Right now, the NBA, we are seeing multiple players testing positive for coronavirus. We've seen Russell Westbrook, James Harden tested positive. We had about six Brooklyn Nets players not make the trip because of COVID-19. It's a lot of things that's hindering the NBA, even in the bubble. Before starting this episode, I seen a Instagram post where don't know his first name, but Holmes from the Sacramento King has to be in quarantine for extra 8 days because he literally stepped out to get his delivery from Postmates. It's that serious. Like I said, the NFL has the most to gain because of the pandemic because they could sit back and see what the NBA and the MLB and even you put out sports like UFC, you could say the WWE, businesses like that, what they are doing, how they are combating this virus, how they are trying to galvanize their workers, how they're trying to implement fans into coming into the venues. For the most part, I've been on their side. But then recently, I believe it was about Thursday, Friday, a report came out. It said that the NFL is banning the jersey swap. At first, when, preparing for this episode, I was like, that's not really a big story and stuff. And to be honest, at the beginning, I was on the NFL side. The time I wasn't on the NFL side is when I sat back and I really thought about the whole jersey swap. You guys are taking off your jerseys, exchanging it with each other, taking pictures, and then you guys hug it out. In my head, when I first heard the news, I was like, okay, it's for germ to lessen the germ exchange, because to this day, we really do not understand how corona is transmitted. We don't understand. People are asymptomatic, have been around people with no symptoms at all, and still don't understand. People in quarantine, we heard a story that someone who was isolated himself, still got the virus. We don't know how it's transmitted. That's the reason why. That is why the virus is still dangerous, and why we still need to take the proper precautions to be safe and to protect the ones that we love, and not even the ones that we love, but everybody across this world. So now, like I said, I was thinking that it's for germ control. But then I dug in deep, and then shout out to my boy Brian. He put it in this perspective. You're on the field for approximately 3 hours. You are fighting with the man across the line from you. You touching the man. You are physically trying to impose your dominance on the man. Pause. You are really basically this close, exchanging sweat, might be blood sometimes because people do get cut. Breathing. You're not going to wear a mask with your helmet on. So for those 3.5 hours, you're exchanging fluids, you're exchanging fluids sweat-wise, as sweat comes on each other, on each person, blood maybe, things like that. You might cough, So 3.5 hours, approximately 3 hours, you're doing that. So for like about 10 minutes, you can't jersey swap. 10 minutes, you can't jersey swap. I think the biggest thing with the NFL right now, it's not even a jersey swap. How are you guys gonna establish a good testing regimen? The NBA is in Orlando right now. They're testing every single day. They have precautions about the bubble. The NFL is not gonna have the bubble. The NFL is gonna have teams in their designated field. Like the Giants will still be in New Jersey, Jets in New Jersey, Cleveland in Cleveland, everywhere. Florida is the epicenter of the pandemic at the moment. You have Miami, you have Tampa, Jacksonville. How is the testing? How can you guys learn from what the MLB and the NFL, I mean the NBA has been doing thus far, and basically flip it around and make it the best system ever? The jersey swap is like oh man, we had to do something, which I don't agree with. I feel like 3 hours you guys are exchanging sweat, coughing, blood might come on the field. You guys are not social distancing. You guys can't social distance. Only time you guys social distance is at the coin toss, and you could say the kickoff probably, but you guys are not social distancing. So how will you guys' testing be the best that we've seen and protect the players and hopefully give us fans the ability to come see your game safely? Me, I'm trying to watch a couple games of the Giants this year. I'm trying to go to a couple games of the Giants. I'm trying to go to the Cleveland game. I kind of wanted to go to the Tampa game, but it's a Monday night game and I don't feel like going out Monday night. And I wanted to see Kyler Murray come to MetLife. But without the proper testing, we don't know. We don't know if that's possible. The NFL still has the training camp is supposed to start. Today is the 13th. Training camp is supposed to start around the 28th. There's about 2 weeks left. How will testing in the NFL be more so innovative? How are you gonna be innovative? How are you gonna show that we have learned and studied from youth from these leagues and organizations, and we're gonna do these things? And also, one of the big things that looking into the NBA bubble is that the players are feeling a little restricted. How do you make sure that you're not restricted? You don't make your players restricted, but at the same time safe. And I feel like that's a world question as well. How do you make sure that your citizens are not restricted yet safe? I don't know, man. I'm just trying to start the conversation right there. But then the NFL has a lot coming up within these next 2 weeks are crucial for the NFL. Crucial for a lot of fall sports. And speaking about fall sports, we heard on last Thursday,